Over the last week, Putin is retaliating with new ballistic missiles after Biden allowed Ukraine to fire long-range U.S. missiles into Russia. And while Democrats applaud the move, Republicans, including our next guest, question the timing just months before he leaves office. GOP Congresswoman Nancy Mace sits on the House Armed Services Committee, and she joins us now. Welcome, Congresswoman.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we've been trying to break this down and unpack this all morning long, trying to figure out why Joe Biden, at this stage in particular, would allow American-made long-range missiles to be used by Ukraine to go into Russia. Why do you think that Joe Biden or whoever is running his government at this moment would allow for this to happen at this moment during this transitional period?
They're doing this because Donald Trump won. And not only did he just win, it wasn't just simply a win, it was a resounding mandate on the issue of Ukraine and a lot of other issues like illegal immigration, inflation, and government spending. And they're doing this. They'll do anything that they can to undermine Donald Trump as he enters office. And Republicans made very clear last week that this was an escalation of war weeks before Trump is to be sworn in, and he wants to de-escalate the situation. And we saw just 3 days ago Putin fire a hypersonic intermediate range ballistic missile into Ukraine. And it was an immediate escalation of war, and that is the last thing the world needs right now.
Right. Where do the Republicans, I mean, I'm sure you're really familiar with where the conference is, just on this whole issue of how close we are to World War III at this moment. I mean, we've never been so close. Where is the Republican conference? I know that there are different opinions about whether we should be in the war or not. Is everyone backing Donald Trump as far as, you know, not just de-escalating, but really bringing about a peace agreement here?
Well, first of all, I can tell you no one wants Ukraine to lose. I mean, no one wants Putin to win here. But when you look at the situation with Ukraine, when you look at the way that Iran is emboldened and Hamas and Israel, the Hezbollah, the Houthis, Yemen, the trifecta of Iran, China, and Russia, the global unrest, terrorism and terrorists feel emboldened. I think there is a real opportunity for peace, but it's not going to happen until Donald Trump takes office and can negotiate that peace with these folks, with Putin, and with Ukraine as well. It's not going to happen until Trump is sworn in. We have just a few weeks more to go, and I think everybody in the conference, and I hope that they feel this way, that does want peace overseas, that want these crises and these conflicts to end. But with his leadership, we can't do it until he's president of the United States.
Yeah, so we're all holding our breath, hoping nothing happens. In the meantime, it's really unfortunate. Congresswoman, let's talk about this. You've been in the press quite a bit because there is a trans member of Congress now who wants to use the women's restroom. And you've been adamantly opposed to that. Talk to us about that, and then I want to play a clip of a very prominent Democrat Congresswoman, AOC, and what her response has been. But first, tell us your position and lay that out for us.
Well, it's sad and surprising that in 2024, I have to go on TV and on social media to explain to the radical left that men shouldn't be allowed in women's restrooms, that women shouldn't be forced to undress in front of men. I'm a rape survivor, and I know how vulnerable women are in personal and private spaces. And I'm going to make sure that I protect all women and girls. And there are a lot of women out there, millions of women across the country who agree with me, but they're afraid to come forward because of the way that the radical left acts, the threats that we've been receiving hundreds a day. It's unsafe. I've been accosted several times over the last several days by folks in public. The left is totally off the rails on this just because women don't want to be forced to undress in front of men.
Right. This is about a bathroom in Congress, but as you know, there are men who are now in women's prisons and women's domestic shelters, and these are all causing women to not feel safe. Here's the response of AOC. Listen.
What Nancy Mace and what Speaker Johnson are doing are endangering all women and girls. Because if you ask them, what is your plan on how to enforce this? They won't come up with an answer. And what it inevitably results in are women and girls who are primed for assault because people are going to want to check their private parts in suspecting who is trans and who is cis and who's doing what. Because she wants to suspect and point fingers at who she thinks is trans is disgusting.
Okay, that doesn't even make sense to me. Can you make sense of it?
No, I can't. First of all, she's not telling the truth. No one has ever said that women should drop trowel. That's really disgusting. And to say that about me, a survivor of rape and sexual abuse, it's really the height of hypocrisy. And it just goes to show that their lie, they don't want to protect women. They never have wanted to protect women, and their policies will only endanger more women and girls. And that's what I've been saying for years now, that Republicans and conservatives, we are the party of women. We will fight to protect women. We'll do a really good job of it when we're in charge. And so I'm going to keep calling out these folks on the left. They don't get a say. I mean, it's just ludicrous to me that women who are victims of abuse should be forced to undress or go to the bathroom next to a man. I mean, I can't even. That's why millions of women are supporting me. That's why we're winning the message. And so many women now today feel more brave and have more courage because I've been speaking out. They feel like they are going to be supported now. We're going to see this all across the country, and we're hearing from folks all around the world, women from all sorts of countries now coming out and supporting us in our effort.
Yeah, for the record, that trans member of Congress has said that he will actually abide by the rules and not use the women's restroom in Congress. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene came out with an idea. She said, well, maybe we should just have a Democrat women's bathroom and a Republican women's bathroom, and then the Democrats can just open the doors to the trans those. And also what AOC said about not being able to recognize. I mean, I've seen Rachel Levine. I know that's not a woman. So I don't understand this idea. But Nancy Mace, you've taken a lot of abuse for standing up for the rights of women, especially in their private spaces, and we appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.